finally the end of the day. I finally made it back to my room. I think I'd just like to collapse here and just never move again. Though, I've got to get up within a few hours, and then no matter. At least I'm finally alone. I don't think I could stand to be down there anymore, with everyone staring at me again. How many months has it been? 3? 4? I don't remember anymore. What does it even matter? The dates are just melding together at this point. Every day is the same. It's all the same. Wake up, clean, get beaten, clean, get berated, and then just sleep. Start it all over again. Was every day so tiring like this? I feel like I've never worked harder. Avari hasn't even bothered to speak to me, but I hope she's okay. She's probably heartbroken about Marquise' reign. And, well, at least she isn't bullying me any longer. Perhaps she'll learn from this. Mother and father worked me so hard every day. I thought they would have let up a little once I agreed to the marriage. When I was a maid at the Aeronome estate, they never hit me like this. And even when I made big mistakes, he would never hurt me. And I guess the Grand Duke and Duchess did sometimes punish me. But even then, it was probably just a few slaps to the wrist and nothing more. I think. That reminds me, I should probably bandage my wounds from today. One more night, and this will be over. Then I am to become a wife. The Countess of Vetris of all things. Well, at least Earl Vetris is a seemingly kind man. Kinder than my own parents, it seems. His children have been very kind to me as well and respectful, despite some being a bit older than me, which is still rather odd and gross to say. I'm glad, though, that they don't seem to openly have any qualms about me. Earl Vetris is well known for his kindness. Taking me without a dowry is more than kind itself, really. And if everything I know about him is true, then I shouldn't have to worry about a thing. He surely wouldn't beat me as terribly. Not the way they do. It's okay. Now, where did I put the extra bandages? Oh, it seems like I'm out. I suppose it should be fine. I'll be wanting to clean the wound, though, so that it doesn't get an infection. To think, of course, they'd hit me in spots where you wouldn't be able to see the wounds. Mother pays attention now, unlike before. She wants to hide it. But I doubt they'll heal within a day's time, unless she really pays for a healer. But what if she doesn't? What am I to say during our wedding night? If he asks questions, Do I tell them of my parents' actions? Would he even believe me? I'm sure Mother would deflect and say that I'm lying. My head hurts. I really haven't been feeling well. Perhaps I can request a mattress for the medicines that the ladles used to give me. These aches have only been getting worse since I've run out. It's almost like everywhere I look, everyone is just enveloped in these dark colors. Maybe I'm just simply tired is all. I do get back to the attic by the time the moon is high, and wake when the sun is yet to even rise. I'm just tired. That's all. But I'll be fine. The bruises just aren't getting any better, are they? Still tender as ever. I'm sure he would have a fit if he ever saw me hurt like this. Just like when we were little. He'd be rushing to my side whenever I got the smallest of wounds, and whenever he accidentally let go of that silly little practice sword of his. I wonder where he is now. I'm sure he must have given up on me by now. Of course, right? I wish I could have fought for us. But I'm too weak to do anything. I should have fought for us. I should have done something. Anything. But I couldn't put his future in danger. Not for someone as lonely as me. I wish I could just see his face right now. I miss him. I miss him so much. I miss his silly little smile and the blue roses. I hope he's eating well and sleeping well, and God knows he must be overworking himself again. I just want to be close to him, to hold him, and to have him hold me. And I would do anything to sit by his side again, listening to him rambling on about the war and different magical applications and stupid paperwork he has to do. I just tell myself this to make it feel better, but he probably hasn't moved on. He's too stubborn, and I haven't moved on. So, if I know him, he couldn't have given up on me yet, right? Oh, Minaea, you can't. You'll be a married woman in a few days. But I just miss his company so much. But Minaea, you can't keep entertaining such thoughts of what could have been. Why must the gods be so cruel to us? Have they ever done anything so wrong as to deny me this, of all things? Was being in love with someone like him too much? Have I not been through enough already? I know the world is unfair, but won't you just grant me a moment of solace? Perhaps some things really aren't meant to be. dreams of mine have been crushed enough, but I still continue to only hurt myself more by thinking of such heartbreaking things. I need to suppress these emotions and these memories if I'm to be a good wife, if I'm going to be a good daughter, and a good mother. And I suppose I'll see him at the ceremony once more, and then it'll be all over. I will only continue to think of him. And the hole in my heart only grows bigger as the days pass. These feelings will never fade. It is impossible to let him go when he is all I want and wish for. I wonder if he's looking up at the stars tonight. At least I shall be brought comfort that we will sleep underneath the same sky, no matter what lives we may lead. But still, can I really live such a lie? To love another man while wed to another? It is no use to be thinking about it. To wallow in such pain. This is the best for him, right? I was never good enough for him. Enough of this. My wounds are a bit cleaner now, at least. I should get some rest. The big day is upon us, after all. Huh? What was that? Perhaps it was just my imagination. I think that I must be more tired than I thought I was. Perhaps this place is becoming creakier. It couldn't have been the floorboards, though. I've yet to even shift my weight upon the boards. Maybe it could be the wind outside? But how odd. It is probably nothing, right? I suppose I could check to make sure. It is making me a tad uneasy. Perhaps I should check if the window is locked. But surely no intruder would bother climbing up this high, right? I'm being silly. Minaea, you're being such a silly worrywart again. It's just the wind. Wind. The trees aren't moving or shifting outside at all. It couldn't have been... No. Wind magic. It wouldn't hurt to check, would it? My lord? Is it you? Truly? What are you doing here? Come in, quickly, before anyone sees you. Careful of the ledge. Sorry. I just didn't want you to fall, but I suppose we did anyway. I'm sorry. It's so insanely bizarre. I can't tell if I want to laugh or cry, really. Are you okay, my lord? I know you get sick. sick using your magic sometimes. I'm relieved. I'm so deeply relieved you have no idea. I'm glad you're okay and that you're here with me. This isn't some sort of hallucination from lack of sleep, is it? Your hand. It's so warm. Against my own, my lord. You're real. You're finally real after all this time. I missed you. I wanted you. And you're truly here. I don't care anymore about rank or station or whatever the appropriate thing is. Please, be close to me. I just want to feel your warmth and take you in again. I was just so scared. You've made it all feel better. The relief I feel, it's unlike any other feeling. You are here with me now, and there's nothing I wish or desire. Nothing else. Just hold me. Out of all my desperate wishes, I just wanted you to hold me. So please, just take me in your arms. It is like all the gravity of this world is gone. I feel so light with you here. No, don't worry about me. I can see it in your eyes. I know. I don't look in the best of conditions, do I? It isn't good. Yes. They've been treating me quite awfully, as you can see. The wounds. It even bleeds through my clothing. Do not fret. I suppose our little tumble opened them up once more. Hey, no, it's okay. I'm alright. Really. I'm used to it. It's normal. Oh. Mother threw a table knife at me after I spilled something today during a meal. It's not very deep. It'll probably heal soon. Oh, please, calm down. I know, with your heart, you could not stand to see someone you love in such pain. Just think about this moment. Just think about us together. That's all I want you to focus on. Well, are you sure you're not feeling sick? Okay then. If you wouldn't mind it, it would certainly be better if you could heal it a little. Thank you, my lord. Just... You have no idea how often I've dreamed of you. God. It has truly been awful and difficult without you. I'm surprised I can even bear to crack a smile anymore, but... apologies. Also, my room, it is rather shabby, is it not? Oh, indeed. This is where I once lived and now live again. I told you of it during our little adventure during the rites of Kaish. Indeed. You remember? That's the same window from which I saw the beautiful lights. The same ones you climbed through. I am simply glad that you come back to me. It has been too long. Please, let me simply embrace you for a few moments longer. I have you now and wish not to let go. I love you, my lord. I always have and always will. I love you with all my being for what it's worth. Not a moment went by where I did not think of you. It has plagued my heart. Well, where do I even start? When I made the decision to leave and had finally settled into that carriage, I felt so much dread. There are no other words to describe how awful I felt. And once I arrived at the estate, well, they were pleased that I wanted to make them happy. I was content, or so I told myself to be. I had gotten used to their behavior and felt that this was the only option. I felt that I couldn't escape. I couldn't possibly tell them no. I had met the Oro immediately, and I was afraid he would be awful, but he wasn't as terrible as I feared him to be. I was extremely hesitant about the whole affair, but despite my reservations, I moved on because I thought that this marriage would make my parents happy. But as soon as Orovatris left the estate grounds, well, I quickly understood what a mistake it had been. Trying to satisfy my parents' desires all this time. My parents' kind and caring facade quickly faded, and I was thrown back up into the attic and set to work as a servant once more, even as a future countess. Every day became a slew of cruel words and accumulating bruises, and now I can truly say that I hate them. With every bone in my body, I hate them. No. Avari has yet to step a foot out of her quarters and refuses to attend any social events. And yet, I am being punished for it. I'm being blamed for everything. I've never done a thing to interfere with Avari and the Marquise, yet I'm the one being yelled at for a decision the Marquise made on his own. It is neither of our faults. I've never done anything wrong. I'm sorry. This is unlike me. If it is truly okay. I'm simply tired, my lord, of everything. I will never understand why their hate for me exists in such a drastic measure. They hate my existence, but why? I had faith that they would change, but it was nothing but a fruitless wish and nothing more. They've even taken me off my medicine. They simply don't want to spend the money on me, or they want me to suffer through my pains. But the more I go without it, the more these aches hurt. I can barely work without feeling sick to my stomach. My vision, it has been off. It was like when they had cut me off my medicine when I was younger. Half a year before I came to your estate. Apologies. It has simply been so difficult since I returned to my home. I regret leaving you. I regret it. But what was I to do, my lord? I'm sorry that I did that to you. God, I'm so sorry. I don't want to be here anymore. And I'll be off to wed a man I barely know. Their grip on my life will never cease, no matter what. So, what are we to do, my lord? I'm sorry. But why are you even here? What happened to Lady Erin? But that would be of such great offense the Queen. Truly? It was a mutual decision, but what of your parents? What has happened? This doesn't make any sense. Wait, what do you mean? I don't quite get it. Are we to run away with one another? But where? What of your title? To the capital? But please, I'm sorry, I don't quite understand. Just slowly explain what has happened. What has even happened? I'm not sure I fully understand you. I know that you like to jest, but is this truly the time to? But will it be safe under the princess consort's roof? I don't know. To be so close within the vicinity of the woman you've crossed. She will be disposed of? Would she truly turn against her mother like that? But Princess Seiya has always been loyal to... Is this why you could not visit me? Is this what you and the others have been planning all this time? But then, how am I to be a key factor in all of this? How could I possibly be involved in a plot that forces Queen Despina off her throne? I simply cannot make heads or tails of this. No, you're starting to frighten me with all of this. It is... No, it's fine. It's simply the way it is. The affairs of this world are far beyond my knowledge, but if I am to be involved in this mess, I must accept it. If this is what the gods have planned for me, then who am I to argue? But there's something else, isn't there? Something you haven't told me. But what else? How much more could possibly be there? There can't be possibly more, could there? My lord, you cannot be suggesting that my origins have been fabricated, but this, all I've known my entire life, the Clarks, despite the trauma they put me through, they are my family by blood. Are they not? How could they not be? Who am I? If I am not Minaea Clark, then true. What is the proof of this? How could I have not known this entire time? I apologize, my lord. This is all so sudden. But I can only think that you must be right. They have never loved me. Not once have I ever seen a spark of affection in my family's eyes. I have been nothing more than a nuisance to them, an opportunity to be used and exploited. I've poured so much of myself into this family, hoping that one day I could be loved as a daughter should be. But if you are right, it has all been a lie. I am not a Clark. My affections and my efforts have all been to waste trying to satisfy a family such as theirs. This is why I've never been treated the same as Avari all this time. I thought I had done something wrong to make them abhor me. That I, as a child, a mere child, did something so egregious to make them regard me in such cruel and callous ways. But that's just how they sought to treat me. A child, not of their own blood. They are vile people. I'm fine, my lord. I'm simply taken aback by all of this, but it just makes sense. But what am I to do then? What do we do? Yes, we must leave. We must hurry before the others awaken. I need to leave this dreadful place. I simply want to leave with you. Take me away. Please, I must find out the truth of who I am. And I suppose you must know more, by the looks of it. No, I trust you. I always have. Just let us leave. You may explain more later when we are more settled. I have many questions, but I've heard enough for now. Yes. Yes. I'm ready to leave with you. Some nights, you know, I struggled without you. I wonder if I could see a life without you. But I couldn't. You are all I want. I care for nothing else. Not my family. Not all the riches in the world. If I have you, that is enough. I'm sorry I did not leave earlier. But I can be selfish now, right? So no matter how difficult this journey will be, no matter who this hurts, I just want to be selfish for once. I want you, and I want to be with you. And now that I finally have you again, I will never, ever let you go. I promise. Now let's hurry. It will only be a few minutes' time of packing. But just promise me this one final thing. Take my hand and never let it go again. Yes, and I promise to never let go of yours either. I am yours, my lord, as you are mine. I did not know what lay ahead of me. Perhaps there would be more pain, and more sorrow, and more hurt. But yet, there was an undeniable hope that kept my sore feet running, rushing into the darkness, escaping hand in hand. Everything, for once, felt right. Like everything ahead of me would be okay. As my breath drew more and more ragged, my heart beat louder and louder in my ears. The warmth emanating from your hands brought me the strength I needed. I took one last look at my old home, vowing deep in my heart to never step foot into that forsaken mansion again. Years of abuse and hurt buried deep within the bricks that held up its foundations. Lies and deceptions that had taken over my life. I wouldn't let the young and vulnerable Minaea of the past suffer any longer. She never deserved such a life. I wouldn't let the Clark's greedy hands ever touch me again. And so we rode through the night. I clung tightly to your back, hoping to never let go again. But even then, I was scared. I didn't know what was next. For years on end, I questioned why I had looked so different, why I was cast away. The undeniable truth was that I was never even a part of their family. My hair was blonde like theirs, but my eyes, they were far, far too different. I was blind to it all. Simply because I craved their love. The love of a family. I often wondered if my existence was a mistake. If I should have been alive at all. I felt that all I caused was pain and misery. I was a disgrace. I was miserable. Even when I was abused by the day, pushed around, beat and bruised, I was okay with it. I would take all the blame, any blame. I would happily take it if my family even looked at me. For at times I felt that even a glance was enough to make me happy. At least my existence was acknowledged. I just didn't want to be alone. But I came to realize it wasn't right. That was never love. That wasn't the happiness I wanted. That wasn't family. There wasn't a warmth, only searing pain and icy burns. I finally understood, after so long, it wasn't worth being kicked around. Perhaps after experiencing withdrawals from my medicine, I could clearly see for once. The anger boiled in me. I had had enough. Enough of my blood had been spilt for their amusement. A new path opened up for me. Like the wind as my guide, you came for me, and there was light again. For months on end, you must have driven yourself mad concocting plans. Of course, I know that there is much more to this than my existence alone, than my rescue. But it was enough. But it was enough. It was a new opportunity at life. There was finally a spark of hope. Whatever role I played now, I would not let others trample upon me and my happiness again. Nor would I let them trample upon yours. Never. And so, we continued to ride far into Alasia, stopping at an inn for the rest of the night and day to rest. Oh, you're back already. Yes, it was very nice. I quite enjoyed the bathhouse. It was pleasant to have some hot water to bathe with. It has been a long time since I was able to experience such warmth. Perhaps I won't be catching colds as often now. I like this place. It is quite nice for being in the middle of nowhere. We are lucky to have found this place, and with an empty room on such short notice. The ladies were very kind as well. Though, they did embarrass you a little, did they not? You were so flushed when they asked us if we were newlyweds. And, well, I suppose that, well, we are lovers and friends, if nothing else. It was rather nice to see you turn red like that. I love you. It feels good to say that. I hope you don't mind if I say it over and over again. No? Good. You must be very relieved. As am I. It is good we were able to leave so swiftly. Hopefully no one recognizes us. Which, thank you for the new clothes. No, they're not too simple at all. No. They're perfect. Anything I receive from you makes me happy beyond belief. I mean, I still wear those ribbons from time to time. The ones that you got me. You must have been well prepared to rescue me if you have all of this. I am very grateful for your kindness and your efforts. Yes, I feel much better now. Don't worry. See? My wounds are practically gone now thanks to your healing. You must have practiced magic a great deal whilst I was gone, too. I am the tiniest bit sore, though, but I suppose the pain and aches from a long day's work won't go away even with the help of your magic. But, how are you feeling? Are you doing all right? It must have been so difficult for you. It has been a very long night. For the both of us. Hey, how about you come and sit next to me by the fire for a little bit? You don't need to sit so far away. I know it must be a bit awkward since, well, you have always been my lord, and I your maid, but I suppose it would be better for us to do away with those formalities. So, come here. It'll be much warmer. It is nice, isn't it? I love the sound of it. I don't like the suit so much, though. I am very happy to be finally reunited like this after so many months. I'm so sorry it has been so long. I couldn't have done much, could I? There are so many things going on at once, so many factors and so many people involved. I could have very easily been killed, whether it be at my family hands or that of the Queen. I never expected any of this to happen to us. Never in my days would I have thought that someone would go to the lengths that you did for me. And for that I will always be grateful. I'm happy that you love me so purely. I know that we have been friends for a very long time, and to think that blossomed into more for you as well. It feels like I'm living in one of those folk tales now. Like the ones we read as children. To find your true love. That was once but a silly dream. Up in that attic, I wished and hoped that I would find that for myself, but it seemed impossible at times. it was never in my grasp. You know, I had been told since I was very young that I would be married off for the benefit of my family. It would be their decision to make, not my own. Love wasn't really something I was allowed. I felt trapped by the pressures of my family, by the pressures placed on us. They had drilled it into my head, over and over and over again. I just didn't want to make any reckless decisions. You know it best. It was not as simple as drenching our hands in blood or fleeing our responsibilities without a plan. You're a strategist at heart. You knew it too, didn't you? That's why we let go of one another, didn't we? We had to make our own decisions then. I didn't want to hurt your future. And I'm sorry that I let you go. I was okay with you hating me, as long as you were safe. Though I suppose that if you did come to save me, you can't have hated me that much for it. I know it was far too late, but it took a long time to finally gain some semblance of clarity. I know it was very difficult to get here and to be here together. But we can look forward together now, towards something new. Our future. I hope you don't mind if I'm a bit more selfish now. I think I've just had enough of catering to others. I don't think I can sit back and get trampled on anymore. I want to be upfront and true to my feelings instead of pushing them down for years on end. Yes. I've just had enough. It's like something snapped in me. And I don't want to seem different all of a sudden or anything. I'm still that same girl after all. I'm still your Minaea. I think that I've just grown a little. I can't sit back anymore. And I can take my life back now thanks to you. Especially if things are already in motion. Which I must ask you in regards to my life. You've yet to explain much to me. I don't want to be in the dark anymore. I know that it must be a lot of information, but I simply must know. I have so many questions, so many thoughts swirling around in my head. I know that it must be a lot of information, but I simply must know. I have so many questions, so many thoughts swirling around in my head. It feels like a constant buzzing. It is just bizarre, truly learning that most of your life, what you knew to be your family, was a lie. Who am I? Whose blood flows through my veins if I am not a Clark? I always felt like an outcast, and it all makes sense with what you told me back at the estate, but I need details from you. You need not hide anything from me anymore. I can take it. My theories. Well, I always had a sneaking suspicion that I was a bastard child of some sort. My hair was a pale blonde, but my eyes were so red. Avari has blue eyes like mother and father, so I didn't understand where it came from. Even the servants seemed to look at me oddly. But it never made sense why they'd keep me in the house and not cast me away. It would be easy enough. There was also a weird time where they treated me a little better. There were gifts given to me by a mysterious benefactor, but I never knew who. Are they who I'm related to? In a sense. What do you mean by that? You must know who my mother and father are. What? Does this have to do something with my ailment? These swirling colors of blue, red, and grays? But I've been told all my life it was just a disease. Even the Grand Duke and Duchess provided me with such medicine to cure it. My eyes are a symbol of the imperial bloodline, but how? No. Wait. I remember. You told me once after one of your history lessons. A gift bestowed upon the House of Alasia to Empress Era from the gods. Right. So, then all I have been seeing is the feelings of others. All that red was just pure malice and hatred then. I see. I understand. But it can only be possessed by those in the main line, right? The first succession? But then I could only be Emperor Neo's child. But neither the former Empress nor Queen have blonde hair. I don't... My lord, please do not hesitate. Tell me, who's my mother? Is she alive? What happened to her? How come I've ended up at the Clarks of all places? What is this? If I read it, will it make a little more sense? Huh. What? This is funding. From the inner palace to the Clarks. Even all the way back when Empress Erish was alive. I am nearly the same age as Princess Era after all. Perhaps that is why they punished me so horribly when I snuck onto Avari's carriage to the party at the capital. Had anyone seen me on that day with my red eyes, and perhaps my general appearance, I would have been recognized. But why hide an illegitimate child within reach like that? Why did no one ever reach out to me? If I was practically within arm's length. Even Queen Despina paid the Clarks to hold me there. Until it slowly decreased over time. Perhaps that is why my parents, the Clarks, chose to sell me off. They were running out of money from previous payments. But then Emperor Neo never knew of my birth then, did he? I doubt he would let the inner palace deal with finances for his own illegitimate child. It would have to come from him. He doesn't know then, does he? That there is another imperial princess out there. Even by law, I still hold rights to succession. Even if I would be automatically placed last, but I could have easily been dealt with. I could have been killed. So why keep me alive? My mother's who? Lady Ina Arista of Citus? But no way. Was that not Empress Erish's beloved sister? How could Emperor Neo do such a thing? How could he? How could she? How could they betray Empress Erish's trust? That must have been absolutely heartbreaking. Perhaps my existence wasn't meant to be after all. their love, my birth, that must have brought so much misery and pain to everyone. But that is why I'm still alive, isn't it? I heard their tale once, how inseparable they were as sisters. Empress Erish must have wanted to keep me alive for Lady Ina's sake after she passed away. But then when Empress Erish died, that duty was passed on to Queen Despina. I know, I'm not okay. I just didn't know that my birth would cause so much pain. I know. It's not as if it was my choice to be born, but there is some source of guilt that I feel. I don't even know what to say anymore, truthfully. It all feels so painful. No, I needed to know. You need not apologize to me. It is a truth that I needed to know. But then, how does any of this tie into your parents or the Queen? Why is she to be deposed? No. That is insane. They are traitors to the Empire. They starved out Ladle's agriculture system simply to boost the economy of Glaris. And with even more death present, more blights occurred, do they not? I remember that was a problem, having to be constantly dealt with. Making troops more sparse along trade routes. There's no way. Is that why this war is happening? They're trying to have Glaris overtake the Empire? But what use am I to her plans? Was it the medicine? It did suppress it, didn't it? My magic. Do you know what her plans were for it? If I was a guinea pig? I see. I suppose there will be a need for more investigation then. So Princess Seiya discovered all of this. I see. I suppose it was time to get the ball rolling then if she was going to get rid of her mother. No, I'm all right. Well, as best as I can be, I suppose. There was so much more to it than I imagined. So what are our next plans? After this, I just want to get a clear view of what we're going to do. I suppose that would be logical, if Princess Seiya is willing to do that. An asylum of sorts, then. As long as we are both safe. Then I guess I will need to prepare myself to visit the Emperor himself. My father. I wonder if he'd see some sort of resemblance. No matter, I suppose. In just a few days' time, then. We'll be in the capital. Well, in a sense, yes. With my real family. But for now, you're my family. It was a lot. It hurts. And I'm surprised, and yet at the same time, I think I can move on now, knowing the truth. Hey, how about we sleep? I'm sure you're tired as well. There's, a few hours till sunrise. Yes, let's. I'm sorry. I didn't think that you'd wake up. The courtyard seemed nice and I couldn't quite sleep, unsurprisingly. I thought, as soon as I closed my eyes I would, but the buzzing and, my thoughts, it is quite difficult to sleep properly, it seems. I just wanted some fresh air. No, I don't think I want to be alone anymore. I could use some company, certainly. I'm just nervous. Scared, really. It's sad. At the drop of a hat, here I am. An imperial princess, of all people. My father is an emperor who betrayed the trust of his wife. My mother betrayed her own sister. I was adopted into a horrible family for all of my life. And I'm somehow wrapped up in a plot to overthrow this empire. Who wouldn't feel overwhelmed? I feel as if my existence is nothing but a mistake. I just feel like I shouldn't be here. That my birth was nothing but a mistake. I am a mistake. I know that I'm safe now, but at the same time it's all so uncertain. It's not as if I want to go back to my old life. All this change is simply terrifying. You need not blame yourself. I wanted to know all of this. I couldn't be kept in the dark any longer. But if there is to be a constant in my life, I want it to be you. Even if things get murky and dark, I just hope that you'll stay by my side. I hope that you won't abandon me like everyone else did. I know you would never, and I trust you with my life. And I want to be by your side. And I want you to be by mine. Supporting one another. You know? I always have done as your maid anyhow. Staying up late with you to keep you company. Running back and forth to the kitchen to get you snacks whenever you were hungry. Cleaning up after you and making sure you were happy. We've always been together and I don't want that to change. I never want to let go of your hand again. I'm sorry. No, I want to be with you from now on and forevermore. My lord, what are you doing? That you are you sure it's me you want? I've never been so sure of anything either. Of course I'll marry you. I've never dreamed of anything better. It's beautiful. Yes, I love you. I love you so much, my lord. I love you. I love you. 1,000 times over. Yes. I am a bit chilly now. Let us head inside to our room. I love you, my lord. Huh? Where? Who? Oh, please come in. Good morning. I apologize. I should have been up much earlier. Oh, no, I feel quite rested. No need to leave. I had a wonderful night's sleep. Indeed. I've never had such a luxurious bed before. I thought I'd sink right into the mattress itself. Yes, very soundly. Thank you. Should I be doing anything? Is there a task I must do? Oh, it's just that I used to, get up quite early to clean. Right, I see. No, there is no problem. It's just that there's no need to call me that. I, I am simply Minaea. I have no titles. Oh. Really? I suppose if the princess consort has asked you to, then, well, call me that title if you must. But perhaps simply lady would suit me better for now. But even that sounds rather odd. Miss, perhaps? Well, whatever you find most comfortable. But I'm fine with anything. It is very nice to meet you all. I'm sorry I did not get to greet you and the rest of the staff yesterday. I was quite tired from my journey here and fell asleep midway, it seems. Today, if I can, I will properly greet everyone, if that is all right. Oh, no, 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 no. No need to call for a meeting. Nothing official like that. Likely while I make my way around, getting familiar, I'll bump into people. Make chit-chat. You know? I don't want to cause a fuss or anything like that. I'm not quite used to all this attention is all. I'd rather not draw too many eyes upon myself. Well, thank you for your kindness. Oh, if I may, could I ask a question? Do you know where Lord Rosias has gone? I... Huh? Oh, thank you. I did not see this letter.
Dearest Minaea, I love you. Do not be alarmed. I will return. I apologize in advance for my sudden disappearance. I would have enjoyed spending a few more moments in bed, but I was called away by the Emperor. There is much business to attend to now that we have arrived, the bulk of which I am attending to now. I have a few lengthy meetings to be present at. I shall be away in the main palace, but a short carriage ride away. Though, since this meeting has occurred before even daybreak, I expect to return home to you by midday. If not then, I shall at the very least arrive before nightfall. If you are curious about said business, I would be more than happy to tell you all about it. Now, when you are awake, you will have a few ladies attend to you, so do not fret. They can be trusted. If you are in need of anything at all, simply ask for it. Do not be too wary, though I know you will shrink at the thought of asking for anything. It is okay to indulge a little, and do not push yourself too much. There are many other reminders I would add, but I shall leave it there. I know you will do well. Now, as I said, there's much business to attend to. I know it will be sudden, but a few guests have made it known that they wish to meet you. I asked for another day, but they did not heed my wishes, so I apologize for that as well. They shall meet you today, but do not fret, it shall not be formal. I hope it shall go easily for you. The staff shall tend to you in preparation. If you are wondering about clothing, it has been taken care of. I know you are overwhelmed by choice, so feel free to ask the ladies to choose for you. They will know what's best. I'll also leave the guests a surprise for you. I have a feeling you must know already, but still. I hope it will be a most pleasant meeting. I'll make my way back to you as soon as I possibly can. I shall keep you in my thoughts. With much love and devotion, Rosias.
I suppose it shall be a little while till I see him next, then. Thank you for, turning my attention to this. I appreciate all the kindness and help. Yes, my mind is a little bit scattered. So, your guidance will be of great help. This letter has put my mind at ease, at least a little more. I suppose I should get ready, shouldn't I? Be prepared in advance, then. Yes, I would like to get dressed now. I did not come with any, dresses, but Lord Rosias said that it had been taken care of already. What does that mean exactly? He has prepared all this for me. This entire wardrobe is mine? But how? All this time, then. He must have... yes, I'm well pleased. This is more than I could ever ask for. Oh, anything would suit me well. I'm not very picky. I'm happy to wear any of these beautiful dresses. Please, prepare me in whichever way pleases you. I shall have no complaints at all. Yes, I'm quite familiar with the process. I used to dress the lady of my household every morning. Oh, I have never been dressed so beautifully myself, however. Yes, I indeed came from a noble household, but I was never really given the privilege of one. Any beautiful gowns were for my older sister, Avari. There were a few days as a child where I would be dressed up, but that was only for important guests. But those days have been long gone. Well, thank you. I appreciate all your help. Oh, you are far too kind. My countenance is far from graceful. Shall I step into this petticoat? Oh, yes. This is quite, beautiful. I did wear a petticoat under my uniform, but nothing as fine as this. His family was quite gracious. But this is remarkable. Even the Lady Aeronome, her fashions were far from this. It's stunning. No, I'm quite alright. I'm sorry. I'm just a little bit, emotional. I I cannot believe a girdle could make my eyes swell with tears. All of this just seems so untrue. Oh, I must thank whoever made these garments. Would you be kind as to let me know later? Well, these are beyond the imagination. I must thank them. Please? Thank you. If it is not too much trouble. I have many thanks to give, really. It is a bit odd. I've always known this garment to be rather stiff, but this is different. Yes, I'm ready for the gown itself now. Yes, it is quite perfect. I cannot believe I have a whole wardrobe of such clothing now. I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever. It is not too simple at all. It is rather delicate, I think. The minimal embroidery and golden accents. It is more than enough. I'm quite satisfied. Jewels as well. Oh. I have no need for this necklace anymore. I've had it for a very long time, but it is no longer necessary. Oh, these are absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. It feels a bit heavy.
I feel like an entirely new person. I suppose in some ways I am. Oh, I suppose you shall need to attend to your duties then. Do you need any help with chores? I'm happy to help in any way I can. Oh, I suppose you're right. But please do let me know if you need any help. I do have one more request, though. I hope it is not too selfish or too odd of me. But I would love it if we could talk more in the future. Oh, of course. My conversations with you two have been lovely. Thank you very much. I shall see you both later then. Good day. I cannot believe I am truly here. I am here after so long. My home? No. I'm not quite sure what to call this place. But I suppose wherever I am, as long as it's with Rosias, then it is home. It is noon now. I hope whatever business he has to attend to does not go on for much longer. I hope he comes back soon. I suppose I could explore this place? Well, actually, am I even allowed to? Well, I suppose I could take a look around this room first. I assume this must be a guest room. It is no wonder it looks so bare. I hope at some point I could retrieve the rest of my items from the attic. I couldn't take much with us, and it wasn't much in the first place, but still. Perhaps I shall ask Rosias about it later. This bed was absolutely wonderful. I feel like I could curl up under the covers and take a nap at any point in time now. I wouldn't even struggle with how soft and warm it is. Oh, and this. I suppose I have yet to even really look at myself. Is that really even me?
Well, of course it is. It's a mirror, after all. You look well, I might add.
Oh, my humblest greetings.
Second princess of the Empire, Princess Saya. Saya is just fine. It's too long, otherwise.
Yes, Saya. I apologize. Was I meant to go greet you? I was not sure when I was to be expecting any guests. I was not sure of any protocols.
It is no worry. I cannot expect the likes of you to know any better.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Do not mind her. She's even worse at speaking than I am. She's working on it. I'm still getting used to her myself.
I would disagree, but it is true. We ourselves have only been recently reunited. It is a bad habit of mine to speak in such a way. I simply meant that you are not accustomed to such rules. I did not expect it, anyway. That is why I went on ahead upstairs.
Oh, and you must be Princess Era, first princess of Pencos. You look quite similar to you, right? I suppose that only makes sense. You've already been told of your origins, yes? It is a poor thing to have happened, father had oddities I quite disagree with. But understand, I hold no ill will toward you. Do you truly not? Well, it is not as if it did not irk me. It would be silly to think I would not be outraged by the whole thing. I spent a long time pondering the situation. It is impossibly gross. But why should you be burdened by your mother and my father's behavior? It is not as if you asked for it yourself.
It is quite disgusting. But do not fret about such things. Your family, strangely.
Yes, right. Family. My sisters. It feels a little strange thinking that.
I suppose so. But I do hope you'll find us more, pleasant than Avari, that nut.
Have you met her? Whatever she is now.
We have met her. She's quite the annoyance. A little fly that I would love to squish.
I see. I suppose you two are not very fond of her? I remember meeting her for the first time. We were little. Perhaps it was a few days before the rites of Kaish. She complained of the sun in the garden, and yet refused to shade herself under an umbrella. I remember that day. She was quite excited for a tea party. I wish I could have come with, but I was not allowed.
Those Clarks likely feared the resemblance between you two. Any inkling of your relationship would have set off alarms. You even have red eyes. Though I suppose that medicine you took would have hidden your mark.
Yes, the medicine. It seemed to suppress your powers.
It is why you had the headaches.
Right. I am still unsure of such a power flowing within me, though. I've yet to activate anything. Perhaps it will come to you again. I, too, once lost my powers due to strange elixirs. I'm still regaining my control now. I see. Well, I suppose it does not matter for the time being. No, does not. For the time being, you need your rest, and to recover. The full effects of the medicine are unknown to us.
Vittoria will likely wish to test you for the possible effects on your body. It will not be too horrid, I promise.
You could have done without that last bit.
I'm sorry. You'll be fine. Speaking of, though, you will likely not be meeting your two other sisters for a little while.
2 other sisters? I thought there were only 2 imperial princesses. Well, of blood. And you would be correct. We are talking about your sisters by marriage. Oh, right. Princess Consort Vittoria and Princess Liena.
They're both at the tower currently. Vienna has been in quite poor health lately, ever since the war. Vittoria is monitoring her and testing to figure out her ailment, as well as keeping her safe.
It will be some time before you shall meet them. I figure Vittoria will keep Vienna there for as long as possible, at least till the war is over. Was there some sort of trouble?
To her health? Yes, I did say she's sick. But safety-wise, there have been serious threats against her life and livelihood.
So, we moved her further away from the reaches of any possible Clarn spies.
Though it would not be out of the question to visit them, so long as Vienna is healthy enough to host any visitors, and as long as Headmaster Vesper is notified beforehand.
Vittoria has made it known that she's quite delicate at times, and cannot handle too much stress or interference. The whole ordeal drove her health into the ground. I see. That is quite unfortunate. I hope that her health may recover soon, and that she remains safe.
As we all do.
But let us focus on the good. We are very glad to have you here.
It may be awkward for a time, but do not be put off by it. Do not be put off by me. You are welcome here, I promise.
I'm glad to be here too. I was honestly a little nervous for it all. How you would all react to me. We were nervous as well. We've had some time to adjust now to the idea, though. We are more than willing to test it out, to have you here. Well, thank you for your kindness. I am forever grateful that you are willing to welcome me into your household.
Do feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure Era would also be happy to answer.
Yes.
I am.
Do you have any questions, Minaea? Well, I suppose I have a question. It is just in regards to what role I shall play here. I'm not equipped for any of this. I have hardly had an education, so I just don't understand what my purpose is being here. I know Resias must have a plan for me, but I just feel so lost.
You are here to relax. You have been through enough. You've done your duty, and it is simply your time to let go and leave your past behind.
Exactly that. Resias had one plan in mind, and that has been completed. You are safe, and in a place where you can thrive beyond the confines of your false family. But, well, I suppose that is something you can discuss with Resias. I'm sure he will say the same.
Right. I just need to relax.
Yes, please do. Oh, speaking of, good day, Resias.
Resias, you're here.
No, you were not interrupting at all. I hope Father remained pleasant for you. He seemed to have a strange clarity to him. We shall be on our way.
Already?
Do not fret. We shall have much time to talk.
We shall have
A formal welcoming for you, but the details shall come later.
Oh, all right then. It was lovely to meet you two.
Until later, Sister Resias.
Good day, sister. You as well, Resias.
My love. Oh, good. You're real. I was afraid this was a dream. I hope you weren't waiting for too long. Oh, really? Well, you could have come in anyway. I'm sure it wouldn't have bothered them any. Oh, no. I've had no troubles whatsoever. Everyone has been so kind and willing to help me. I can hardly believe it, really. This day has been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, look at me. I've hardly ever had the chance to have such fine fabrics adorn my body. You should have seen me earlier. I was a right mess, crying over a piece of fabric. You are too kind and too sweet. How did I ever get so lucky? And how are you? Your meeting didn't run over as long as I thought it would have. I'm thankful he needed some rest then. I missed you. Yes, I've been a little bit antsy, waiting for you to return. I know I'm safe here now, but I suppose I feel a bit lonely. But this is new, and I will grow used to it eventually. It will be different. Now that there will be more people to speak to, perhaps I shall even make some friends. Oh, you're right. I think that would be a splendid idea. A tea party sounds rather nice. I shall have to ask Saya and Era about the hosting of such things later. Actually, speaking of, when shall I have my formal meeting with them exactly?
I don't have to plan the dinner party, do I? I don't know the first thing about that. Phew. I think I'll have quite a bit to learn before I could dabble in hosting noble guests to my own parties. I know plenty about setting them up, but nothing about actually hosting. Hmm? What of Emperor Neo? Later today? Well, that is rather quick. I've hardly any time to settle in. But I suppose that would make sense. He'd want to see his daughter, of course. I've been hidden away for so long, it must have been a shock to him. I wonder why my mother hid it from him, especially when they loved each other so much. Perhaps I will never know. But I would like to learn more about her from him. Perhaps those little pieces of her life will make my own make a little more sense. Yes, I do think I'll be okay. I've been brave before, and this is no different. So, any other little updates from your meeting? I don't mind living here at all. As long as I'm with you, that is my home. So, if it is here at the capital within the palaces, then that is where I shall be. If you wish to move into a tiny shack out in the forest, I'd be happy to do so as well. As long as you were with me. As long as we remain together. The capital shall be a fine place to live, no doubt. So, what will you be doing here then? I assume you will have other things to do than to just keep me company. No, not that I wouldn't mind it, but I know you love working yourself to the bone. I don't enjoy that so much, but I know you do. So, what sort of work shall you do while you're here then? I had no idea Princess Seiya was subject to so much work. I suppose now that Prince Leo's off on the battlefield, it all falls upon her shoulders. You are very kind to offer your services to her. But what of the Ladle estate then? It cannot possibly fall into ruin, no matter what your parents did. But Anium is off fighting too, isn't he? I'm not quite sure I understand. Why would Princess Era require your training? Wait. Are they lovers? Is she to be your sister-in-law? Wait. Is this the same girl? From when... the handkerchief one. I suppose it is quite a small world. Well, that is absolutely wonderful. It seems you'll be quite busy from here on out. No, nothing's wrong. I spoke about this earlier with my, sisters. I just wondered what I will do here from now on. I have no hobbies, no jobs. I suppose a part of me feels like I should be doing something. I don't want to just be a freeloader. Oh, I know. I should rest and relax. After all that. But is it weird that I miss the mundane chores and such? If I want to help out, may I? I still forget that you and I are equals now. I suppose I have no need to ask for permission, do I? It's just another adjustment to make, I suppose. Perhaps I too can help sort out the inner palace. Oh, I do love maintaining the beauty of a place, Like the library in your home. I always loved giving the place a good dusting and adjusting the shelves. You always pushed the books too far into the shelf and barely gave them any room to breathe. Well, of course you have to. You know books can grow moldy, right? I might just have to teach you a thing or two about maintaining a home. And yes, you may teach me about all that accounting hoopla. No, I wouldn't mind. You look so happy when you speak of it anyway. You know I love that about you. Every time you learn something new, you wouldn't hesitate to run over to me after a lesson to teach me about it. You've always been so kind and willing to give. My heart just feels so full when I am with you. I could never stop singing praises for you. I hope we'll be together for the rest of our lives now. Oh, I know that's why you got me the ring, silly. A little fear just creeps up into my mind sometimes. It was absolutely heart-wrenching to be without you. I was so worried every day about how you fared, if you were sleeping enough, if you were cold, if you were working too hard, if you were falling in love with another woman. My heart kept seeking you out, no matter how much I tried to let you go. I suppose I should have listened. I knew better than to try and trick myself. I was so hopelessly in love with you. I'm so deeply in love with you now. Yes, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm glad that we can resume our lives together in peace. I'll never be letting go of you again. Not even if the world tries to tear us apart. I look alright, right? I didn't really know if I should have changed or not. No, not nervous at all. Maybe a little. I know I'll be fine. It'll be a quick talk, right? It shouldn't be too bad. I don't think. He knows I'm a commoner, so I hope he doesn't find my mannerisms too strange. We're not late or anything either, right? The main palace is absolutely huge. I thought we were never going to make it to the throne room. It would take forever to clean this place. I mean, look at that. There's so much dust over there. Focus, Minaea. Okay. I'm good. I'll be fine. I'm excited to learn more about him and my mother. Yes. Yes, I'm okay. I think I'm ready. You'll be right outside, right? Okay. I love you. Good greetings, Emperor Neo. Yes, I am Minaea, your daughter.
Good greetings, Princess. Why, you're up even earlier than me. You really must get your rest.
Good morning. I suppose I find it hard to simply sleep in. There's just so much to do.
So much to do? You've only just gotten better. Now here is your medicine for the day.
Thank you. I'll have to write a letter of thanks to the apothecary. Could you remind me?
I'll write down a reminder for you. And how are your symptoms today?
Thank you. No more nausea. Thank goodness.
Good. It did give us all quite the fright the other week. I'm glad to see the color return to your face again.
And thank you for all your kindness and care.
Of course, Your Highness.
Remember, calling me Minaea is perfectly suitable. You needn't be so formal with me.
If you really wish it, perhaps from time to time I will call you by your name. Only in private, of course. Now, which dress would you like to wear?
A short dress, if you will, today. Any color. You know I don't mind.
Then what about this dress?
Oh, that green is quite pretty. It's like the evergreens of Citus, Mother's colors.
We'll have to get more for you in this shade.
What I have is more than enough.
You are a princess now. You deserve more than just this. Now, arms up.
You all spoil me far too much. Yes, arms up. So, how was your morning?
It has been fine. A bit busier since your big day is nearly here. We're all in quite the fuss now, really.
I hope it's not too much. I don't want any of you to have too much hardship. Work too hard and you exhaust yourself.
Don't worry yourself. We'll have a break after it all dies down. Large events like these are always a lot of work. But at the very least, we receive more money in return, Now then, is this tied too tightly?
Right. At least they compensate you well enough for all that you do. A little looser today, if you could. I'm afraid that I will have to send my clothes for alteration soon. I'm growing bigger by the day now. Do you think I'll even fit in my wedding dress?
We will make alterations to the dress if needed, of course. But I doubt in a week you'll grow any larger.
I suppose so. It is only next week.
Don't fret. You'll be fine. Smile! Aren't you excited for your big day?
I'm quite happy indeed. Why wouldn't I? I feel blessed by the gods above.
And you deserve to feel blessed. You arrived here in such a horrid state. Gods, I can hardly imagine what even happened before at that dreaded house. I'd march right into their cells right now to teach them a lesson.
Now, I'm perfectly fine. No need to imagine such violent scenarios.
You're right. I must learn to calm myself. Anyhow, you're all done.
Thank you. I always look so wonderful thanks to you. Well then, I'll be off.
You'll be off? Off to where exactly?
Well, you know, the usual.
Don't tell me you intend on cleaning once again. You shouldn't be doing any of that. You're not a maid anymore. Stop trying to take my job, princess.
Please, don't even try to stop me. It's the only way I want to get exercise nowadays. A little sweeping doesn't hurt me or the baby.
Didn't the doctor order you to take a walk for your exercise?
Yes, the doctor did. I don't want to, though. Walking around the gardens is just so boring. And not productive or helpful in the slightest.
Fine, if you must insist. But I'll be checking to make sure it's only sweeping. I don't want you scrubbing the floors again.
You're most certainly the best. I'll be downstairs. Oh my. I can't believe there was ever that much dirt here. How dreadful. Imagine if Lady Clark... Well, it's a good thing that Clark woman isn't your benefactor anymore, isn't it? But, certainly, that is an awful lot of dirt.
Perhaps you are far too relaxed with your maids, Minaea. Princess Era? Good greetings. Minaea? What have I told you? No need to be so utterly formal with me. But good greetings to you too. Oh, right. Sorry. Era, how are you? I haven't seen you in a few days. Oh, I'm most certainly well. Just getting a bit of exercise in. How are you? I heard you weren't well. Habits are rather hard to break, aren't they? But I am much better now. The medicine has done wonders, but it seems my body needs a higher dosage to keep the nausea at bay. I had bed rest for days, and now I'm able to walk without falling over. Thank goodness. Right. It's because of my experiments with poison. Yes. At the very least, I hope it means that this child will be resistant as I am. Though, perhaps, it is not so good. I must burden myself with so much to feel all right. Well, I'm sure it will be okay. I'm glad, though, that you're much better now. I know it must have been dreadful. I haven't been feeling all too well myself, but I'm rather glad at least we can share the same sentiments. And I'm glad as well. But I stopped in for a little chat. It's a rather busy time now, isn't it? Won't you sit down for a moment? Sleep later. It's not proper for a princess to speak to her guests while performing such duties. You're correct, aren't you? I've been trying quite hard to learn the proper etiquette, but I'm afraid I'll never get it. Minaea, don't doubt your capabilities now. You've only been here for a few short months, and I meant nothing by it. Just sit with me. Relax a little. Oh. Well, come then. Let's sit in the parlor. See? I doubt you're doing too poorly. Inviting me to the parlor to speak was the right move. Anyway, we are sisters. No need to be so formal, all right? I just wanted to chat your ear off a little bit, not to lay out the budget for your palace. Okay. Settling in is a little harder than I thought it would be. Did, you settle in easily once you moved out of your old palace? Well, of course it was strange. All those horrid servants were finally tossed away, and I had a room actually fit for a princess of my standing. I was so used to the treatment of that place, I grew wary and suspicious of the people in Vittoria's home. I was so very paranoid and lonely. I am still adjusting to it now. I can only imagine how strange it must have been to become a princess overnight. So, do not worry. And don't rush yourself. I suppose moving away from whatever home was, it must have been quite strange, even if you had been a princess your whole life. But thank you for your reassurances. It has been peaceful for the first time in my entire life, it seems. And let us pray it stays that way. But you are well now, yes? Healthy and fine? Very much so. Good. I suppose, though, it will be difficult to fully rid you of your habits, Not that they're bad, like cleaning. I like to cook myself. Oh, yes. I can't help it. I liked cleaning, keeping things neat and organized. It was the treatment and conditions I detested. But you like to cook? I do. It was funny. Just a little while ago, all I could cook were eggs. I've certainly expanded the range. Pastas and soups now. I should treat you sometime. I would be glad to try some of your food. It would be my honor. Actually, I must thank you for the kindness you and the other sisters have imparted upon me. I know it must have been strange to invite me in just like that, considering the origins of my birth. No need to thank us. It is nice to welcome such a kind girl like yourself into our family. Like we've said before, whatever our father did was his choice. You need not live out like a physical manifestation of a consequence. I suppose I needn't feel guilty about my birth, but I do wish I could understand more about the nature of their relationship. After we visited our grandparents, I'm still confused. If she wasn't even part of the choosing ceremony, then how did their relationship even come about? I too have a hard time understanding. Father loved Mother quite dearly. My mother. To think this had gone on behind all our backs. Well, whatever. Perhaps someday we shall understand and learn of it. But it doesn't matter anymore. It is better that we are united. Besides, having you means having Resias as part of the family, and he will be very critical. So, I'm glad he came as a package deal. Yes. Resias is simply so bright. I cannot imagine him having a career anywhere else. But speaking of him, I worry he is working too much. Even in his childhood days, he'd be stuck in his study. And now that he's assisting Saya, well, you know. Well, we can't have him overworked now, can we? Saya needs all the help that she can, now that she's practically ruling on her own. But if the help gets exhausted, it won't exactly be the best of his work, will it? Why don't you just try and go distract him for a little bit? Make sure he relaxes. Give him a schedule. Those type of men love those, don't they? I suppose you're right. I should go and check in on him. I worry I'll distract him from something important. Perhaps. But he can surely make time for 5 minutes out of his day for a walk. So why don't you go now? Now? I best get back anyway. We can talk another time. All right. Thank you for stopping by. I'll visit you next time. Very well. And say hello to my future brother-in-law, won't you? I will. See you soon. See you soon. Resias? It's me, Minaea. Ah, my lord. Would you have some time for a chat with me? It's nothing serious, don't fret. I just wanted to check in with you is all. Why don't we go outside? Get some fresh air. Well then, let's go. You've been getting up earlier and earlier nowadays and staying quite late at the main palace too. I just worry that you're overworking yourself. I know there is much to be done, but it cannot be healthy for you. If you continue like this, I'm afraid that you'll crash and burn. So, would you mind taking a walk with me? Like this? Every midday? Just for 5 or 10 minutes. I want to spend time with you, Resias. We can even talk about work. Though I'm not well versed in any of the matters, I can at the very least be an ear. Just as I've always been. Whether it was your studies or personal troubles, I've always been here for you. 10 minutes a day then. It's settled. So, what were you scribbling so furiously about up there anyhow? Was it to do with my parents? Or, about Lord Ferris and Lady Minaea Clark. No, they haven't contacted me since the month before. Silly how they still believe that I will bail them out, that my love for them persists. That letter was full of greed and no remorse. They begged to keep their titles, and for what? What use is a title of formality? They earned that title from Empress Erish out of gratitude for keeping me, for taking care of me. Yet they chose to take advantage of the Empress's kindness and goodwill. They chose to take advantage of me, all for the sake of wealth that was never theirs. I am all right, Rosias. It's still strange to find myself in moments of anger, but I must thank you, Rosias, for pursuing justice for me. I have no doubts. With all that you have submitted and accounted for, it will rightly shed light upon their crimes. But what about Avari? Was it about her? What has become of her after Lord Ferris and Minaea were imprisoned? No, I do not wish the same fate upon her. It is reasonable that you are equally angry towards her, but I do not see her in the same light as those lot. She never harmed me the same way her mother did. Though her words often cut sharply, she never hit me. She was certainly greedy, thoughtless, and lazy, but I do not doubt her remorse. Sometimes when Lord Ferris bruised me, Avari would tell me she needed practice with magic. She'd heal me. I think the best she could. In her own haughty way, she tried to help. She's far from kind, but there is a tenderness to her. But believe me, I'm glad to hear she is getting a taste of her own medicine. And she now faces her ultimate fear, embarrassment and shame. Though she may retain her titles, they are empty, a shell. Everyone knows it, no matter how prideful she pretends to be. Now that she's relegated to being a retainer, to... what was his name again? Ah, yes, Lord Adder of Targathon. Era has told me much about him, and she detests him very much. So, I can only imagine how eye-opening it will be for her. Perhaps she will learn from someone even worse than her, supposedly. I can only hope she will be reformed. She is still young, and now that she's out from under the influence of Lord Ferris and Minaea, perhaps one day we can reconcile. Though I suppose you wouldn't be too happy about that from the look on your face. Oh well, even if we don't cross paths again, I hope she can learn to better herself is all. But in regards to this entire business, your parents, they're in Morai now, aren't they? Have you any clue on what or why they gave me such medicine? Why they dampened my magic like that? I see. Though they'll be conducting investigations into pharmaceutical businesses soon then. I heard as much from Miss Kay. Perhaps when they are done we shall know the truth. Did they write to you at all? I see. I am so sorry, Rosias. I could have never imagined that they were involved with my abuse. I wish things could have been different. That they were never involved in such a nefarious business. But let's just put this behind us for now and focus on our future. I will always be here for you. Remember, I'm never letting go again. And we have our family to grow now, don't we? Do you want to feel the baby? He's kicking now. See? That's your papa, little one. It's faint, isn't it? It's still a bit difficult to feel since I'm not too far along yet. No. I suppose I don't know for sure yet. Not till the little one is born. But a little while ago, when I was discussing with Era, she told me that if I crave savory food, or if my feet are icy cold, then it's supposed to be a boy. Of course, those are just tales. Speaking of, I was told that if I were to eat many apples, I would have a boy, and if I ate many strawberries, I would have a girl. Well, none of it matters to me. I'm just grateful we're having a child. It's exciting, isn't it? A little miniature you and me. It hasn't been too difficult yet. Of course, the nausea has been an issue, and I grow weary at times, but I am not too bad. The midwives and the doctors have been very kind and helpful. Though I am nervous, as anyone would be, I have been at ease. Having family around me has made me quite relaxed. They all dote on me quite a bit. And even though I'm older than Era, they treat me like a little sister. I don't mind it in the least, though. They've also been quite helpful with the wedding planning. I've been so overwhelmed, but thankfully, they have more experience, it seems, in that sort of thing. Saya does, anyhow. Soon, we will be bound together for life. Of course, it doesn't really matter if we have a ceremony or not. I am yours and you are mine. Isn't that right? But it seems like my time with you is up now. Oh, I'll be off to finish off my exercise, I suppose. You go on. I'll see you later tonight. Take breaks, all right? I love you, my lord. Now, let's add on a little bit of rouge to those cheeks. But which color? Certainly not that one. No, thank you. Well, she has quite the fair features. So, perhaps these shades here? Perhaps a cool-toned one. It will balance out nicely. I have a few ideas. How about this one? A blushing orchid color. It reminds me of the ones in my garden. Anything would do, really. I'm sure whatever you put on me will be fine. No, it's an important day. It can't be too dark or bright. It will wash you out. You're right, Vittoria. There. Good color choice, Sienna. Thank you. A very good pick indeed. Now then, what's left? Her lipstick. This one. It's perfect. So, what do you think, Minaea? I look just wonderful. Don't cry. A cloth. Someone, get a cloth. Quick. Not you, Sienna. You'll faint if you go too fast. Right. But I've been feeling stronger lately again. Oh, I'll get it. Why are you crying? I'm just so happy. I look so beautiful. I never thought this day would come. Here. Don't smudge it up too much. It's okay to cry. Right? Try to dab the tears so it doesn't remove your makeup. Cry softly, if you can. Please? I'll try, Saya. Thank you all. I'm so grateful. I never thought I would have a wonderful family such as this.
Oh, gods. You're gonna make me cry.
Let's get you in your dress before the crying session. Wait, let me help.
Go ahead and step in. I'll lace you in.
Not too tightly, remember? The baby needs room.
Pencos's dresses sure are heavy, aren't they? Mine wasn't nearly as heavy.
Which is a good thing. You're so frail. If they were this weighty, you'd snap like a twig.
That feel all right, Minaea? It's perfect. Snug, but definitely not suffocating.
Well, I certainly hope it wasn't suffocating you.
No, it fits perfectly fine. May I put the veil on myself? Well, of course. Here you go. There. Well, how do I look? Perfect, Minaea. You look perfect today.
Resias will surely be speechless when he sees you.
You're exactly like the princess in one of my books. You're all too kind, my sisters. But thank you for your help. Your love and your support. It really means the world to me. I suppose it's time for you all to get ready as well. Ah, right. Let's quickly ready ourselves then.
I suppose we'll have just enough time before the ceremony. How could I forget? I'm in robes.
Anyway, we'll be off regardless. We'll give you some time to breathe before the ceremony. But we'll be right there cheering you on later.
Do let me know if you need anything.
Don't hesitate.
You feel ready?
I'm so ready. Now go. I'll see you at the ceremony. Thank you again.
Congratulations, Resias. I'm very pleased to be the one to ordain your marriage. Why, indeed, I did volunteer. I just had to be here for your big day. You've come a long way since your days at Singuis. I'm quite surprised by you, you know? Your courage has been admirable. Who would think a bookish one like you would break into a house and launch an investigation so large it's reached the ears of the gods? Oh, I'm not scolding you by any means, just proud. I do the very same for someone I love, and in fact I have. I sort of broke into a house, yes. Anyhow, are you excited? Are you sure? You're not too nervous, are you, Resias? Because you seem to be working up a sweat. Anyone would be, but pull it together for just a little bit. She's walking down now.
Resias, you look wonderful. Thank you.
I welcome you all to celebrate the love and commitment of Lord Resias of Liddell and Princess Minaea Haima Arista of Pankos as they join together as one in marriage. We witness today an eternal oath made between these two. To the guests here today, let us learn a lesson from their story. That even through hardship and dire circumstances, true love will always burn brightly. Now, Lord Resias and Princess Minaea, I ask you two to express your devotion. Resias, if you would begin. Thank you, Resias. Minaea?
Resias, I believe that our fates were tied long ago. I remember those first days where I arrived at your doorstep, unsure of what was to come next. But when those doors opened, you extended your hand to me without another thought.
You were my very first friend. Despite our circumstances, being with you always felt incredibly natural. Like the differences and layers between our lives never existed at all. It was just me and you. You have always been so incredibly bright, and my admiration for you has only increased tenfold since then. Your warmth and kindness was what kept me alive and willing to go on. You were and are my home, a place where I feel safe and belonging. You have always been there for me. Your presence gave me strength, and your words gave me courage. You are a good man, a great man. Your heart is true, and your spirit is as pure as can be. And though we may have been torn apart once, our minds muddled by duty, never again. I cannot even conceive a world in which we are not together. Like I said, I believe our fates were tied long ago when I arrived at your doorstep. There is no one else upon these earthen lands I would rather live out the rest of my days with. You are my family, and my love for you will never waver. I love you, forever and always.
Now, we shall begin the hand-fasting ritual. If you would both extend your right arms out, please take each other's hands. Do you, Rosias, intend to marry Minaea to weave your journeys together forevermore? Do you, Minaea, intend to marry Rosias to weave your journeys together forevermore?
I do.
I bind these hands together, weaving their fates eternally. With each ribbon wrapped shall their love deepen and their commitment stronger. As the love Plectera states, we are all bound together by the goddess's will above. May Rosias and Minaea uphold this law with Morena's blessing. I am pleased to present Princess Minaea Haima Arista Airgnome and Prince Consort Rosias Airgnome Sophia Haima. You may now seal your fates with a kiss. Congratulations.
I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you, Rosias. Always.